In this video, we will be explaining the cylindrical shell method for finding the volumes of solids.
This is an alternative to the washer method.
The formula for finding the volume for this method is volume equals the integral from a to b of 2 pi times the radius times the height dx.
Let's try an example. The region bounded by the curve y equals the square root of x, the x-axis, and the line x equals 4 is revolved about the y-axis to generate a solid. Find the volume of the solid.
The first step to do this problem is you have to draw the curve y equals square root of x. And you also need to draw the line x equals 4. And this is the area bounded by the two curves. This area is revolved around the y-axis, so it is reflected on the other side. So you can just draw another side in. The resulting shape will be a cylinder with a hole in the center. Something that looks like this.
Next, we need to find the radius and the height. The radius is any x value from 0 to 4, so this number will be represented by the variable x. The height is from the x-axis to the curve y equals the square root of x, so the square root of x is the height.
Now we're going to plug the radius and the height into the formula. So the radius is x, and the height is the square root of x.
Also plug in the x values 0 to 4 for the boundaries. Since 2 pi is a constant, if you want, you can pull it out front of the integral.
So once everything is plugged into the formula, you're going to type the integral into your calculator and get the answer 128 pi over 5. And the units are units cubed.
So let's try another example. Evaluate the integral using cylindrical shells. The graph's going to be bounded by the graph y equals x squared, the lines y equals 0 and x equals 2, and it's going to be revolved around the y-axis.
First, you're going to start by drawing all the graphs. So first we're going to draw y equals x squared. Then we're going to draw y equals 0, which is just the y-axis. And then x equals 2. And the area that this is bounded by is right here. Sorry, this is the line y equals 0, not the y-axis. This area is revolved around the y-axis, so its other half is going to be on this side, so you can draw that in. And it'll make like a bowl shape.
Next, we need to figure out the radius and the height to plug into the equation. So the radius is any number between 0 and 2, so that's going to be represented by x. And the height is going to be from here up until the equation x squared, so the height is x squared.
Next, you're going to plug in the radius and height into the equation, and the equation is 2 pi times the integral and then the radius multiplied by the height dx. And our radius was x, and our height is x squared. And then the boundaries are from 0 to 2. And then you're going to plug this into your calculator, and you'll get the answer 8 pi, and the units are units cubed.
And that's all for cylindrical shells.